Welcome to Dry Falls State Park, and today I am going to be climbing that rock. Behind me is Umatilla Rock, and today I'm going to be doing a scramble route to the summit. I am in pretty much the middle of Washington. It is a chilly November morning, and I have wanted to climb this rock ever since I stopped at the Dry Falls viewpoint when I came and did a trip over here up to Steamboat Rock State Park in April, and I saw Umatilla. It's this really cool fin in the middle of the park, and it looks crazy, but after some digging, I found the scramble route that gets you to the summit. So I'm gonna go up here, and the route is pretty much right here. So I'm gonna be cutting through here, going up a slope, and then taking a few benches, get up on top. And it should be some incredibly unique views of the park. I'm really excited because climbing here in Eastern Washington is always a treat. So let's go summit this rock. Made it to the top of Umatilla Rock. That is the southern end of the rock. And the scramble up wasn't too bad. It's short, but there's definitely a class 3 move, maybe 2. There's kind of a crux of like 10 feet that I tried to show where you have to scramble, but I am on the southern point of the rock. There's the cairn, and then way over the edge, really beautiful with the way the light is hitting. And now I am going to continue along the rock because I'm on the south end, and all the maps have like somewhere in the middle of the rock marked as the true high point. So I want to get that, and I want to go all the way to the north end and just walk along the whole fin of the rock because it's so cool. But woo, the hard part is over, and now I just get to enjoy kind of this alien plateau up here all to myself. Hopefully I'll see some animals. I'm hoping to see some birds and stuff, but just being alone in this super unique place is really amazing already. So got more exploring to do. Heading north. Okay, go up along that kind of hump there, I think is the proper high point. So, oh, wow. I have reached the point on the ridge that is labeled as the high point for Umatilla Rock, and I'm pretty sure it is. This is definitely taller than everything at the south end, and this is so cool. You know, it's this flat plateau, but you can definitely feel how narrow it is. That's the south end there. And yeah, this is the high point, because after this it starts to dip back down and goes towards this gap over here in the north. But it's just such a cool formation. Oh my gosh. Summit. There's nothing to mark it up here because, I mean, I really don't think that many people come up here. There's some, it seems like more people are at the south end. There are like some painted rocks and the cairns there, but that seems to be where people actually go. But I'm not done yet because I came here to summit, but also I want to do the whole length of the rock. You can't go on the final end because it dips down in that gap, but I'm gonna go as far as I can to that northernmost point because I think the view just keeps changing. It keeps getting cooler, so I want to experience the whole rock before I go back down, so gonna do that. So I made it as far as I can go to the north tip. This is where it drops down to, there's actually a gap in the rock right about here where a trail goes over, but that is like sheer vertical. You can't scramble that, or if you were going to, you would need like technical rock climbing skills and stuff, which I do not have, which is why I'm very glad that that section of the rock there is not the true summit. But this is a really cool view because this is even narrower than the south end, and you can see the incredible walls of the rock, all these cool basalt columns that were eroded, and then really where it gets to this really narrow section, and then lakes on either side, which is really, really pretty. And if you're familiar with Washington geology, you might have some idea of how like Umatilla rock formed in this weird long skinny shape. The reason this is called Dry Falls State Park is because this entire rock wall face during the Ice Age floods was a massive waterfall. So water just came ripping across all of eastern Washington. It tore through here, it came cascading down, it just ripped away these canyons on either side, or these coulees. And then Umatilla rock would have like been a big break in the water, so it would have had water flowing on either side, which is really crazy to imagine. Eastern Washington has some very cataclysmic events in its geologic history, but it makes for a really unique set of rock formations. And I think another interesting thing is that lake, the far one, it kind of looks like a swamp. That's called Red Alkali Lake, and it is kind of this weird color. So really unique view, seeing the Sun Lakes, getting to the narrow point on the ridge, but that does mean that I've hit my turnaround point, so I'm gonna head back all along Umatilla, drop down the saddle, scramble down, back to my car. It shouldn't take too long, hopefully. I think scramble down is going to be more of a pain than it was up, but it's really short, so it shouldn't be too bad. That was Umatilla Rock, and oh, that was so fun. I have been just thinking about this rock ever since I saw it, and at first I didn't think it was even possible, because when you search up this summit, there's really not a ton of info at all. There's just a couple of whispers of a scramble route up it, so you really kind of got to use your experience to like pick the best part to ascend and stuff, and I definitely found the way that people go up it, so that was cool. And that's the first note I want to make, is that this is not an official trail. It's not even really a trail. This is a scramble to the top of the rock. If you look up Umatilla Rock Trail, there is a beautiful loop that goes around the whole rock that takes you to the lakes, to that saddle between, which all looks really cool, which is probably the way you want to go. It looks like it's one of the best trails in the park. Takes you through all those cool rock formations that I was looking down on, but that is really cool. I love these formations in eastern Washington that are just these plateaus that feel like islands in the sky. They're just so cool, and very incredible weather, because we just came off of what felt like a monsoon of rain, and so I wanted to get out, experience some sun. Look at this beautiful lake. This is apparently Perch Lake. And that's the other thing, is there's so many lakes at it's Sun Lakes Dry Falls State Park. That's the full name of the park. So I think I saw most of the Sun Lakes as well from the top of Umatilla. So I'm not sure I would recommend scrambling to the top. I'm going to leave it somewhat vague. I think that if you have the experience to get to the top, you will be able to. And it is possible, but I am going to say it is class 3. There is one section where you actually do have to do some slightly more technical scrambling. The rest of it is just going up a slope of really annoying loose basalt, and then you're on top of the world. Anyway, I have a gorgeous drive back over the mountains ahead of me, so thank you so much for watching, and here are my favorite pictures from the climb today. Enjoy.